This video will review how to add, remove, and reset your filters on your Faculty Mentor dashboard. So just to recap, by default, you should have 3 filters on your Faculty Mentor dashboard. The first should be the term, which should be set for either the current term by default, or you can change it to a specific term that you wish to view, but the default is the current term. The second filter should be is in active class, and that simply means that it will filter students who are currently enrolled in the current term. For example, if we are in the first 8-week term, we do not want to flag students who are enrolled in second 8-week classes for non-attendance since the courses have not started yet. So you want is in active class set to yes. And the third filter is active program contributing credits, and you want that to be set to at least 15 so that you are only viewing students under your Faculty Mentor advising load, meaning only students who have earned at least 15 credits in the active program and are invested in your program. So let's say that you are wanting to view all students in your program, not necessarily just those who have earned at least 15 credit hours. You may want to introduce yourself to any students in the program if they have any questions at the beginning of a term. So to remove a filter, and this is true for any of these filters, so if you're wanting to view data from a prior term, you'd want to remove the is in active class filter, otherwise it wouldn't show any students since that term is not active. But to remove any filter, you would simply click in the gray area, and the buttons at the bottom have the options to apply a particular change, remove the filter, or simply close the pop-out. So to get rid of a filter, you would simply click remove and it goes away. You can notice that now this number has increased for the number of students. It's still not the same as the bold number up top because it will only show students that are currently enrolled in that particular term, not specifically students who are have been admitted to Grayson and have chosen that specific major. So if you would like to add a filter back, if you notice a particular filter is missing, or you simply want to add an additional filter, all of those options are on the left-hand side where we have the filters link. You can click that and you'll notice a large list will appear. They're all in alphabetical order. So if I wanted to add the active contributing program credits back onto my dashboard, I would look at this list and I see that I've got active program contributing credits. I would check that box and click apply. Notice that it defaults to all, and so I want to click on the gray area. I want this to be at least 15, which you can select the possible credits earned options, but an easier way if you're wanting a group of credits, you can click on the link is checked up at the top, and I click on the drop-down menu and I see I have some options. I want to check at least, and then I can type in the amount of credits I would like to view, in this case 15, and that takes it back to the appropriate advising load. Similarly, if I wanted to change to a different term, I can click on the gray area. If I wanted to look at students from a prior term, maybe the last fall, I would simply type in the year, a drop down occurs, I click the current term I want, and I can click apply. Now you'll notice 0 students show here because there are no active classes in the fall, so I want to remove this filter, and so to remove filters I would simply click the gray area and click remove, and now I can see students from the fall. Now again, as I've mentioned before, play around in these dashboards. You cannot break anything or mess anything up. If you notice that you've been playing around with the filters and you think, okay, I don't know how to get back to the defaults, all you need to do is reset your filters. To do that, you'll notice that to the right of this drop down and your filters, on the far right, there's a little box with an arrow. You'll simply click that. It will open a new pop-out up at the top. You'll have a link that says Reset Report. You'll want to click that link, which will refresh this particular window. Close out of that window, and then you'll want to refresh the original dashboard window. And you can see that your filters will now pop back up into their default settings. Again, if you want to change anything, all you do is simply click in the gray box and you can make changes or remove. If you need to add any filters back in, click on the filters link and you can add any filters that are available in this list. And you can click on any of these filters and play around with the settings in there. Some popular ones for different programs are obviously some of the demographic filters. So you can look at age, you can look at the dual credit option, whether students are in dual credit or not, ethnicity, gender, race, whether they're full-time or part-time. So you can look at several different things. I'm going to pull the dual credit one just to show you that it will always default to all for any of the filters. So whatever you put on there, age, ethnicity, whatever. So it'll always default to all. So you always want to click on the gray area so that you can define, do I want dual credit students or no? So if I want to exclude dual credit students, then I would deselect yes and make sure no is checked, because I only want those that are not dual credit, and I would apply that filter and it would take out any students, which this program doesn't have dual credit, and so it didn't eliminate any students. But later I could always remove that filter, or we could reset the filters to the default settings afterwards. So feel free, play around, add filters, remove them, play around with editing the filters by clicking in the gray areas and seeing what you can do, because you can always reset. If you have any questions, please reach out to Logan Maxwell or Nancy Luthi.